Hi, I'm Danny Reynolds, and welcome to Hispanic Speak Out. We've been on the air for about 15 years here in Central Florida, and we are the only Hispanic English from the, I'm not going to say horse's mouth, because, but I'm here with Adianis Morales. She ran for the United States Congress, and she ran on the Republican ticket in the primary. Politics is extremely violent in Central Florida.
It is.
Okay. Tell us about your race and tell us what happened.
Well, my race was a very good race, and although politics is very hard, we managed to have a very, very good race, very civil, very peaceful. The candidates that were running were all very good people.
That was in the Republican primary?
In the Republican primary, yes.
Okay. And everybody treated you nicely?
Everybody treated me nicely, yes. It's funny because I just came back from the America First Policy Institute Hispanic Conference, the first one that it was held here in the United States. And I met one of the strategists that was doing some numbers and seeing who I was. And one of the things that he said was like, you are very well liked in your district. People like you, people love you, they speak highly of you.
Okay.
So for me, that was very nice.
Are you going to run again?
I am.
What are you going to run for? And when?
It's going to be 2024.
Okay.
I'm going to wait to see what's going to happen with these elections, what happens with the machines. We had 10 machines that were tested here in Osceola County. 4 of them malfunctioned, but they were certified anyway. So we need to be very careful.
They were certified, but were they used? Even though they malfunctioned and they were certified?
Yes.
Well, how does that happen?
Well, that happens when we don't have a supervisor of elections that does the things the way that they're supposed to be done legally.
And that was in Osceola County?
Osceola County, yes.
Okay, so you are taking a shot at the supervisor of elections in Osceola County?
Oh, yes,
Okay,
definitely.
so-
And I might run.
For that?
That's why I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Because unless we fix the problem with a supervisor of election offices nationwide, and then it doesn't matter how many great candidates we have if we don't target the root.
Well, it's a political office, though.
Oh, yeah.
We had that problem in Orange County, too, because in Orange County, the supervisor of elections sent out a notice, and that notice was wrong.
Yes.
They said that NPAs could not vote for the mayor
Exactly.
of Orange County.
Yes.
Right?
But at least they sent out a note. Ours didn't even send out anything. So that's why we had only 17.7% of voters voting in primaries. This is the 3rd cycle that it goes down.
Okay.
So it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Okay, so is there a reason for them to do that, for it to go down?
Yes.
Okay, what's the reason?
The reason is Hispanics are waking up. Hispanics are realizing that we are not Democrats, that we are conservative at heart, that we believe in God, that we believe in life, that we believe in marriage. And
that you're making a major political statement right now.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, so what you're saying is that the lifestyle of Hispanics is really Republican, not Democrat, even though most Hispanics are Democrats.
Yes, and I believe, and I've studied this, that is because we get lost in translation. For example, we come from countries that are democráticos, because democracia is what we believe for, no, right? We live in. And that when we come here and we see the voter registration form, it has Democrat, Republican. It takes a Hispanic from 5 to 7 years to be interested in politics when they move to the United States. Why? Because they come for the big dream. They come to raise their families, to get a safe roof, a good job, so they can fulfill their dreams and their God-given destiny, right? So that is a very long time. So when you get visited and you get targeted at supermarkets by Hispanic organizations, and they tell you, oh, you're Hispanic, you're a Democrat, and then you see, oh, I come from a Democrat country, that's where I say we get lost in translation. We think we're Democrats because we come from democratical country. But really, Hispanics, we are very conservative at heart.
You're saying that the people who are registering Hispanics... Okay, all right, we'll qualify that, are actually entrapping Hispanics when they register to register Democratic when actually there shouldn't be, or they're not giving them a choice. They're guiding them in the wrong direction.
It is illegal to guide people to vote in a certain way. And why do I say it? Because I used to work for one of them, and I saw it with my own eyes, and that's why I did not last it with them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you're going to run next time in
I am,
2024?
2024.
Have you are you going for supervisor of elections? What county do you live in?
I live in Orange County.
So why don't you go for commissioner?
I could do that too.
Don't do the 3. 3 is mine.
No, don't worry. I could do that too. My church is here in Osceola County.
Okay.
I've been serving Central Florida
Okay.
for 17 years.
Okay.
But I was telling a friend that I just met here, I sleep in Ocoee in Orlando, but I live in Osceola County, Kissimmee. Last year it was $6,000 in tolls alone. So yes, I live in Kissimmee. I sleep in Orlando. Me too.
So we have, Kelly Martinez Summerad, she's Mexican. She ran against Jerry Demings in the primary, and she didn't win against Jerry. Jerry's an incumbent, and he's very powerful. But I was surprised that he didn't get in. He only escaped with 9 points, and I was expecting him to get at least 15 points.
Nope.
So he's not in favor right now, but he squeezed through. But Kelly's going to be going for, and this is a secret, okay? This is an absolute top secret. Not anymore when this adds. She's going for commissioner in 5. So she'll be running for county commissioner in District 5.
Yeah, county commissioners are very important as well. We have so many open seats. And why did that happen? Because Hispanics and believers, Christians, people that believe that God is their creator and Jesus Christ is their savior, they're finally waking up. They're not letting themselves be indoctrinated anymore. All this woke agenda, all this filth that is coming into our schools against our children are really shaking up parents. And people finally are starting to use their God-given brain and, pinpointing point A and point B. This is not good for us. It's not good as a nation. We're seeing how socialism, communism, Marxism is creeping everywhere, how we're being told to do certain things, how our constitutional rights are being trampled. And finally, Hispanics and believers are waking up and saying no more. We're not going to let them manipulate us any longer.
I'm going to you haven't stated that you're a pastor.
I am a pastor.
You are a pastor.
Yes.
How does the relationship of pastor and politics merge and overlap? Where does that...
By design.
Okay.
By design.
All right.
Genesis 1:26-28. That is our design. Subdue the earth, take dominion of your territory. That was the first assignment that God gave each one of his children. So if we, the church, children of God, his ambassadors here on earth, would have had the right teaching in churches, which is whose fault? Pastor's fault. Because they're not teaching, they're not understanding that the church is the kingdom of God here on earth. And what is kingdom? King dominion. So if we are his children, his ambassadors of the kingdom dominion, how come we're not dominating our territory? Why are we not occupying those political...
So how do you rationalize separation of church and state?
That is a lie. That is nowhere in the Constitution.
Okay.
And that line specific came from a letter that the Southern Baptist president wrote to the president saying, I am worried that the government is having a lot of interference in the church. And the president answers, there is no separation. There is separation between church and state. Do not worry about it. But they only picked that little piece. That's why you cannot find that anywhere. It's not in the Constitution.
So you're saying it's okay for government funds to sponsor Christian schools, Christian churches? Government funds, funding.
I am very against government funding. That's why 501c3 is for. That is why a 501c4 is for. I believe that the churches should have the freedom of being and raising their own money. No church, by the way, that line is the biggest lie that ever crept in the churches. That's why we are so behind. And finally, people that really study the Bible and you know who your Father is and why he created you for, are starting to step up into these political realms and these positions. I believe that, another thing, no church ever in the United States has ever been revoked their 501c3.
Okay, a church
status.
is a 501c3?
Yes.
Okay, because we're a 501c3 as a broadcaster and also as an art gallery, as a museum. So
As
we
a
have the
C4,
same
you can
designation.
as a C4 you can have for profit, and I believe the church should be a C4. I think it's a mistake that churches are C3 because we are called to be in community and to help the community. And how are we going to help the community if we're not allowed to be a C4?
If separation of church and state does not exist, how did it become so dominant? Because everybody screams, separation of church and state. We cannot have
because
the church
we
involved in
repeat
politics.
things without knowledge. Because we repeat things como el papagayo, like we say in Spanish. We just hear something and it sounds good, and we just repeat it. And Hispanics, we are like that. We are very passionate, for not saying fanatic, and we just say things without confirming if things are right. And that is one of my pet peeves. That's why I go to churches. For 6 years, my husband and I, we've been going to churches, training pastors and training congregations on how to vote according to biblical values. When I go to churches, I don't talk about politics. I talk about the Bible. And the Bible is full of Bible verses. For example, Exodus 18:21. It speaks about we, his children, are supposed to choose our leaders first that carry the fear of the Lord, so those leaders can then lead thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. And how does that translate? And nowadays, so many years after the Bible was written. Well, if we choose our leaders in our community, in our county, in our city, in our state, in our nation, we will not have the problem that we have right now.
Okay, are you a Trumpite?
I am.
Okay, so tell me why.
Trump was...
he's controversial. You know
he's
that,
very
right?
controversial.
He's very controversial.
He's not a politician. He's a pragmatic. He's a man that he didn't need no one's money to do what he did. A lot of people don't like or didn't like the way he was expressing certain things because media, you're a media person and you know that media is owned by only 5 families worldwide. And you know what happens every day at 3 in the morning, right? Everybody gets their script, and this is what we're going to talk about today. And this is what the people are going to find out today that is happening in the world. So if we don't search and if we don't seek the right media outlets, we're never going to find out the truth because we're going to be indoctrinated into what those 5 families want us to know. So to answer your question, yes, I am a Trump supporter. I'm the former Latinos for Trump director here in Central Florida. I just came from America First Policy Institute, the Hispanic Conference.
So you're going to be on the Republican ticket. You know something?
I am going to be in the Republican ticket all my life.
We're run out of time, okay? So this is Hispanic Speak Out. We're going to be taking a break. And what are you going to run for?
I don't know yet, but I will be running
Orange
probably.
County, come on, Commission Orange
Or
County.
I could go after Darren again.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break.
Congress.